Okay, so I'm talking about transducers. So what are transducers? They basically respond to physical conditions which convert energy from one form to another. So input transducers convert non-electrical to electrical. So easiest example, solar. Solar takes solar energy. Then what does it do? Convert to electrical. So that's called an input transducer. Then on your other hand, you got things which are called output. Then it just goes the other way around. It's from electrical to non-electrical. So your simple, easiest to understand would be a loudspeaker. Okay, electrical, you plug to the radio convert it. The electrical, you plug to the loudspeaker convert it to sound. So that as your input and output transducers. Of course, life is not going to be so easy. They're going to ask you concentrate the focus on this thing called thermistors and LDR. Anybody knows what does LDR stand for? Long distance runner. Light? You learn where? You saw below. Good. Light dependent resistor. Then what does LED stand for? I told you already. Like LED, I told you before. What does an LED stand for?
Light explosive device.
LED? Light emitting diode. Okay? Okay.
So he said you know in Chinese. No, I said you learn in Chinese.
You learn what in Chinese?
LED.
LED.
Yes.
Okay, thermistor. We start with thermistor. The thermistor's resistance depends on what? Or varies with what? Guess what? Thermistor, thermal. Heat, temperature. Right, so it's going to be dependent on temperature. So this resistance isn't fixed. It will vary with temperature. Okay, the symbol for thermistor, it is like a resistor. Exactly the same. Except it has a hockey stick like that. Okay, so it depends on temperature. So you got two kinds of thermistor. One known as a PTC, and the other one's called NTC. PTC don't stand for Parents Teachers Conference. It's a positive temperature coefficient, and NTC is called negative temperature coefficient. So troublesome. Anyway, the normal ones we deal with in your questions are all NTCs. So for NTC, the idea is this: the higher the temperature, the lower the resistance. Then the lower the temperature, the higher the resistance. Okay, so I always just tell myself, remember it's opposite. One is high, the other one low. Okay, one low, the other one high. Okay, so you just imagine if you have a thermistor, how it could possibly work. You can set it up in a circuit where, if let's say the temperature rises, then the thermistor's resistance will start to go lower. Then the current inside the circuit will start to increase. So increase large enough, it can cause an alarm to go off, for example. So you can imagine how a thermistor can be used in that sense. Okay? So we can use it in temperature control, temperature measurement, and so on. Alright. So typically we start off with something simple. This is considered simple. Until you flip pages down on the worksheet, you see much harder. But the basic idea is not so much how to calculate. You should be able to calculate the amount of current in a circuit like this, but how to describe, that's a problem. So when people ask to describe, they go all over the place. Okay, I mean, if it's correct, it's fine, but often it's non-correct. Then they get muddled up, very confused, and so on. So for me to help you to explain, just like in electrostatics, when you explain things, I told you to follow, what is it?
ERO.
ERO. So here I have RRIV. So what does RRIV stand for? Right, so that's going to help you explain thoroughly and think logically so that you can not get it wrong. Okay, so even 2 marks also, you can follow RIV, you will be sure you are along the correct path. Okay, so for this here, we have a 10-volt battery connected to a lamp and a thermistor. So first step, of course, let's talk about Okay, let's give an intro statement. When they ask, right, temperature rises. Okay, when the temperature rises. So when temperature rises, intro statement, temperature rises. Here's my format, RRIV. First R, resistor, talk about the resistance of the component, okay? In this case, my component is my thermistor. So my first R. So resistance of thermistor, okay, everybody, what happens? Increases. Okay, I use symbol, you can write it out in words. Okay, write it out in words. Exam, don't symbol. It decreases. So the first R, resistance of component decreases. Very straightforward. Second R, often my second R is the total resistance of circuit. Okay, I say often, but sometimes it may not. It may be resistance within that section. Okay, here, total resistance of circuit. Think logically, very simply, obviously. Raghu, R is for Raghu, R is for total resistance. Resistance of thermistor for total resistance will, Raghu, what happened? Series circuit. So here, resistance lower. So the total resistance will be lower. It will decrease as well. Yes, it decreases. So you think very logically. Okay, next. Current. Now the current from the battery. Ooh, the current coming from the battery. Think logically. Increase, decrease. Right, I stand for current. It will increase. So increases. Okay. Now we are heading there. Yeah, we are reaching the light bulb. So you see, I talk about 1 first and 2 first and 3 first. Very often people don't even bother with this. They straight away just tell me, oh, the light bulb brighter, or the light bulb dimmer, but no explanation as to why, no explanation as to reason and so on. And sometimes they are right, sometimes they are wrong, sometimes they are right, they don't even know why they are right, sometimes they are wrong, and because they didn't follow a simple logic. Now, you think, current from battery increases, so the voltage across, the voltage across the lamp increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Oh, you got problem in circuit. Basic circuit still got problem. Just think, V equal IR. Resistance on the lamp the same, I increase, so the lamp will increase, right? So this current coming through here is getting larger and larger. So the voltage across the lamp increases. So the voltage of the lamp increases. Okay? So your lamp has a certain operational voltage. Let's say the operational voltage is 8 volts. If let's say the temperature is low, the voltage across the lamp may only be 4 volts. 5 volts, your lamp will not operate, right? But once it hits 8 volts, it will suddenly operate because it reached the operational voltage, right? So your voltage of the lamp will keep increasing until it reaches its operational voltage. And start to function. Okay? Or you can say the lamp, basically the lamp will go from dim to brighter and brighter and brighter, and then reach its maximum brightness, 8 voltage. Oh, 8 volts. Okay, that's operational voltage. Does everyone understand why this voltage increased now? Yes or no?
Yeah, but then how come the resistance is constant?
The resistance of the lamp, we take it as constant.
Oh, lamp. Oh.
We are talking about the lamp. Why does the voltage across the lamp increase? Are you asking me that? Because the current coming from the battery, this current starts to increase. Why does this current start to increase? Because the total resistance of everything here was decreasing.
If this decrease, this increase, then this one should be the zero.
Okay, we start from the first one. the resistance of the thermistor decrease. Accept that, right? So then this is a series circuit. So the series circuit R total equals to R1 plus R2. R2 is this one. R2 will start going down. So your total resistance will go down, right? Anytime the total resistance of circuit go down, the total current being drawn will increase. Okay? So you must follow. Don't understand us and don't fall asleep. Okay? Us, because you're going to get worse than this. No? So, some of you got problem with this, then later on we will have even further problems. Okay? So the voltage across the lamp increases. Why? Because the current coming out from the battery is much larger. So the same current, the larger current passes through the light, the lamp will make it brighter. The voltage increases. Okay?
Because the resistance will go down.
Because the total resistance has gone down. The total resistance of the circuit has gone down. The resistance of the lamp, this one, we consider it to remain the same. This one has gone down because this is R2. This is R2. This one has decreased. Because why? Because temperature rise. So this one, this thermistor resistance depend on temperature. When temperature go up, the resistance will drop. Okay? Following, all following so far. Okay, now so basically you reach up to here, you answer the question already. But let me go on. I ask you pay attention. So we thought voltage of the lamp increasing. What happened to the thermistor's voltage? Increase or decrease? What do you say? Increase as well? How do you determine? For sure. It's going to either increase or decrease, but how to be sure?
Voltmeter.
Look logically. The voltage add up must give you? Look, everybody, if we Kaisen, I always tell you, approach things, you can think about two ways. Think about the formula. That's the first choice. However, in this case, you look at the voltage across the thermistor. The current has gone what?
Up.
While the resistance has gone
Down.
Inconclusive. Why do I say inconclusive? Okay, some people say, like that, voltage is the same. It's not the same, no. You don't know how much the current went up, you don't know how much the resistance go down. Inconclusive. So when this doesn't work, I always tell you, think, use a formula, it normally works. It don't work how? When I tell you problem solve, when it doesn't work, the V equal IR don't work, then how? Use what? Think about what? Think about relationship. So the relationship factor, voltage across of the battery equals voltage of the lamp plus the voltage of the thermistor. Right? Okay, you look at the relationship. Can you tell me? Can you conclude for me now with certainty how does the voltage across the thermistor change? Decrease. Yes. Why?
What's the voltage of the lamp increases?
This one has increased. Then this one? Same. So you conclude like this, that the voltage across the thermistor will decrease. And what kind of reason am I going to provide? My reason is this over here. Okay, so this one, you couldn't use this. Non-conclusive or inconclusive rather. So you think about the relationship. That's why I say you must be very capable of seeing relationship. And this is a basic series circuit. I mean, you get worse than that. You also have to see the relationship of the V's and the I's and so on. All can follow, no?
Just that was
Which one?
the
inconclusive. You cannot conclude because one go up, one go down. You don't know for sure how have they changed.
You know what's the use of this, like the light thing, like to increase randomly?
So what's the use? So it can be like a warning signal lah. So let's say you attach this thermistor to some device or some room lah. Okay, then if the room temperature rise, right? Then it connect to a lamp outside, right? Then the lamp goes on.
Is it like
turns
lightning
it on.
alert?
Not lightning alert lah. That one's different lah. Like that one lightning. This
How
one.
about fire
So
alarm?
think simply in this case, yeah, it's not so much of a fire alarm. Okay, a fire alarm is the light comes on lah. Or you attach to a bell, then the bell start ringing then fire alarm lah. Okay, something like that lah. Okay, but fire alarm is different way of working lah. This depends on temperature. Fire alarm depends on smoke, right?
Yeah, it's one.
Okay, so can.
So what do you need to talk about voltage of the thermistor?
Oh, this is I just talking a bit more. You have actually answered the question over here. But if they ask you part B, describe to me how the voltage change, you have to know it. This one you got to be very flexible when you come to this guy, it's okay, because you flip many pages down, you look at worksheet, you get very scared. When you look at the circuit, it totally doesn't look like this anymore. But can be done one. Okay, you think logically, you follow my RIV way, should be able to do it. Okay? And if you don't sleep, okay. She forgot to send me his video.
I just see answer.
Evidence. Okay.